Welcome to the war. Okay, this one's been a long time coming, but I'm finally ready to have my first Blood and Plunder battle on my terrain table here. I built this project, as some of you may know from watching channels or watching videos on my channel, that I finished this project last summer. It was sort of my summer project for quite a while, and I got it built and all the buildings painted and everything put together, and never really got around to playing a game on it, which is shocking, but for any number of reasons. You know, other projects came up, other priorities came up, and another big reason, it's just it's been a game that I haven't been too familiar with playing the rules, and certainly not solo playing them. I'll talk about that a little bit in a moment. But that being said, for now, I'm going to be playing the Take and Hold mission from the Blood and Plunder, from the cool rule book. Essentially, we're just going to be playing on land, and as the objective here, some treasure. This cool terrain piece made by my buddy Tom from No Dice No Glory. He built that, and I'm going to be having a battle over that to control that objective. So a few other points. I say, yeah, just going to be using an unaligned force of freebooters or pirates, or however you want to call them. We'll get into the force composition in a minute, and then a Native American force from a Caribbean tribe. Gonna be playing with those two. I'll get into their build too in a second, but yeah, gonna be giving this a go. And a couple of points I'd say, yeah, first of all, as I already mentioned, I'm unfamiliar with the rules. I'm unpracticed with the rules, and I'm certainly not an expert on any kind of, tactics or ways to game the system or the rules, as it were. So this is going to be very fresh. Another thing, yes, I'm going to be solo playing this, and I'm very aware that there's a certain element of bluffing involved in the game mechanics in terms of playing your cards, for those familiar with the rules. So even though I am going to be doing just sort of a turn by turn thing, or turn by turn, I'm going to be capturing the turns, just summarizing at the end. That's partly because I know I'm going to be looking at the rule book a lot as I'm going through this, just to get some of those nuanced things down. And the other thing is, as I was saying, just sorry, I sort of went on a tangent there, talking about the cards and the bluffing element of the turn activations. I'm basically going to play no bluffing, and I'm just going to do each faction's turn to what would suit them the most, beneficially at the time tactically for where they're at. So hopefully, I think that'll probably make a little more sense to those that are familiar with the rules. But also, I'd say, again, this might be a game that the format would suit having kind of real-time dice rolling and all that good stuff. But for now, let's just see how it goes, and we'll take it from there. All right, fairly warm be ye, says I. So let's get into the force organizations and see what we've got on each side. Okay, up first, I've got 137 points of a Caribbean tribe here. They're going to be led by this chap. He's an experienced leader, and he's going to be leading 1, 2, and 3 units of trained warrior archers, and they all have poison tipped arrows. So they're all equipped with bows, and they've all got poison. And then lastly, just a small unit here, a small unit of 5 young warriors, also armed with bows, also poisoned. So I did pick up from playing, some of my previous games with friends, that the natives having the poisoned arrows is a really neat ability, and it can really hamper your foe. I haven't actually seen it come to fruition yet myself, but maybe this will be the game where I really kind of get to see that take full shape. So you can see that there we've got 3 units of 6 warrior archers, a unit of 5 young warriors, and an experienced leader rounding that out. So, all right, well, let's go take a look at who they'll be fighting against. Okay, on this side, my unaffiliated faction represents the Brethren of the Coast army list. They're going to be led by an experienced English Buccaneer commander, masquerading here with the Lawrence the Graff model, but either way, he's going to be their experienced leader. And then I've got a meaty unit of, I think, of 8 flibustiers here. They're really going to be holding up, and they're veterans. And then everything else is trained. I've got, let's see, this unit of 4 sea dogs here. Yep, there. 4 men making up this unit of marineros. And then 6 freebooters over here. So kind of a mixture of 2 units with slightly more shooting abilities, and then 2 that are, I think, meant to be up a little more close and personal. So that rounds out their force. They've got 139 points, so 2 points more than their opponents, but I don't think that will come out. I think that will come out in the wash just fine. So those are the forces. I'm going to deploy everything. You can see, I mean, the way I built my table is to sort of have a town area walled off from the wild jungle. I'm going to, I think, just deploy everything on the jungle side here. I'll have 1 force. I think I'll probably put the natives on this side in the foreground here, and then have the unaligned guys coming up the beach. And they'll all be battling over this objective here over the space of 6 turns. And yeah, I'm gonna get everything deployed, and let's get this game started. Okay, our brethren of the coast have deployed. So you can see here on the beach, the main thrust of the force is gonna be here in the center, and I have attached the commander to this unit of freebooters, so he's gonna be with them, but he's also gonna be within pretty close range of the flibustiers who are here. And again, they've got a pretty clear line of sight right down the clearing of the jungle to see their opponents, who you can see in the background there. But outside of that, and I can already tell this is going to make some cool views on this, or some scenes on this in this terrain. So over here we've got the sea dogs. They're kind of going to take the flank, and then on the opposite flank, the marineros are going to be attacking from this side. So you can see there, they're definitely looking to cause trouble on that side as well. But again, I think for the most part, this is going to be a thrust up from the coast to take and hold that objective that you can see here. So I think this might get up close and personal pretty quickly. All right, let's go take a look and see what the natives are doing. Okay, for our Caribbean tribes, so looking over here, I did have a little bit of a dilemma about whether to keep the young warriors close to the leader, if they would benefit from that in any way. But in the end, I elected to let them kind of be sort of a hidden threat over here on their left flank. So they're quite, they're gonna try and kind of think encircle around or cause some trouble, I think, coming around this side of the jungle. So then that really just leaves the 3, I think, good sized units of warrior archers here, pretty much in the center, again, threatening that objective treasure here. And the commander, he's being attached. You can see him here attached there. He's right there. So he's going to lead the way and hopefully cause some trouble to the pirates coming up the coast. And then, yeah, this unit here, I think they're gonna try and sneak around the side of that jungle and do the same thing as well. So yeah, quite a bit of terrain. I already did my. It's funny, when I normally play games, I always struggle to remember terrain movement rules. So I sort of instinctively avoid going into woods. That is just absolutely not an option in this game, I think. Now that being said, the natives ignore the effects of terrain like that, or area terrain like that, with their special ability, the scout special ability. But even so, I read up, so -1 movement to anyone moving in the woods. That's straightforward enough. I'm gonna remember that. And I think with that being said, the cards are set. The fortune doubloons or pieces of 8 or whatever these cool coins are, the fortune coins, they've been set. I think we're ready to begin with turn 1. And let's get this game underway. Excited to do this. Okay, at the end of turn 1, I'm already excited about playing this game. It is great, and the terrain and the minis, it's all just coming together really nicely. So turn 1, I'm also noticing there's a lot of back and forward, me running around this table doing the various activations, but I'm enjoying it. So with that being said, a fairly standard turn one. Both forces really just played their activations and moved forward. The unaligned faction here basically just pressed forward on all parts. They're fairly close. They're certainly within shooting range, I think, of that objective there. I didn't push anyone. You can see the other unit of freebooters is hiding in the woods there. And then over here, again, those Marineros, they're coming around this side, I think quite in quite a good position there. Also tucked away a little bit behind that hill, and I think that would give them some cover. So over on the Caribbean tribe side, you can see, as I said, the young warriors have advanced. They took 2 activations to move around this side of the trees, or through the clearing. And then over here, I think the only interesting thing that came up was I used some fancy command activation points to push that unit on the right, this one here, and then keep the commander and his unit of warrior archers tucked away in the trees there. So, and then yeah, just the last thing, this unit, they moved up really without too much trouble. So I think you can see both sides really maintaining a line, but certainly getting closer as we look to move into turn 2. Here we go. Okay, only turn 2, but I've already seen some significant combat. So over on this side, just to get this kind of out of the way, the Marineros moved into the woods, hoping to launch an assault on the young warriors over there. They also moved up. So I think activation is definitely going to be a factor in the next turn, or at least in this regard. Over here, the unit of, well, let's sort of sum this up. So over here, all of the other units essentially moved forward. The flibustiers here captured or took the objective or held the objective, but they took an absolute pounding from the archers here, or the warrior archers here. They failed a bunch of saves, and that resulted in them losing 2 fatigues. Point of note, I was looking at the weapon kind of profiles for different things, and the bows have different profiles between the core rulebook and the No Peace Beyond the Line rulebook. I use the No Peace Beyond the Line rulebook because it's more recent. And I think, and ultimately, I think it sort of evens itself out. The rule in the original of the core book sort of adds a penalty for archer shooting and a little penalty for or bonus for being in defense, but allows you to shoot twice with 1 activation. In the No Peace Beyond the Line rulebook, you're only allowed to activate once. There's no penalty for the actual shooting attack or to hit attack, but you get a much better, you have a -3 to your save doing that. So I think that sort of nets out. Anyway, I hope I'm playing that right. Again, by all means, please correct me or clarify in the comments if I didn't, but that was a significant attack. Elsewhere over here, this unit of warrior archers inflicted, let's see, 1 casualty on this unit here, the commander's unit. And then over here, we saw a little bit of, you can't see because of all these palm trees. We saw a little bit of melee combat here. The warrior archers also inflicting 2 casualties on the Sea Dogs. And the Sea Dogs fired their pistols in defensive fire. That's why they've got that that number 2 dice there, showing they fired their guns, but they're brawlers, so I'm sure they'll activate and attack back in the next turn. So already seeing like pretty significant combat happening here, and only in turn 2. So I think turn 3 is going to be exciting. Let's see what happens. An incredibly costly turn 3 for the Brethren of the Coast. And at the end of this video summary, I am going to have to roll a strike point test to see if the Brethren of the Coast stick around. So to briefly summarize, first of all, the natives certainly got far more of the drop, if you will, in terms of the cards that they were playing. So they were really able to dictate the turn sequence here, which really went in their favor when they were on the attack. I feel like the one time I think that the Brethren of the Coast got the drop, they inflicted a few casualties on the natives. That their armor save is just so low that they're not effective taking hits. Anyway, that all being said, let's break down the sequence. So the first thing that happened here is this unit of warrior archers attacked the unit of flibustiers here on the objective, and as you can see, there's only one of them left now, and even he has got 4 points of fatigue, and he's prone right now. Over on this side of the battlefield, the unit of warrior archers here in the woods finished off their combat with the sea dogs, eliminating the last two of them, or the remaining two men that were there. So that was certainly a point of contention. And then the main kind of meat grinder over here saw now what was originally a full unit of warrior archers here being on the receiving end of some shots from the freebooters. They survived that, then they charged them, and were able to inflict a casualty or two. And then the marineros, you can see there, here, they joined the melee and inflicted a casualty, but then we're on the receiving end from the unit of young warriors doing a casualty there. So it's been quite a bloody affair over on this side. And as it stands, the Brethren of the Coast have lost more than 50% of their force, meaning they're going to have to take a strike test. Now, I understand this is a test taken on the commander's resolve, and I believe the commander takes on the quality or the abilities of the unit he's with, which means that the freebooters have a resolve of 5, so I need to roll a 5 or higher on this D10 to see if the force sticks around. So let's give that a roll and see what happens. Okay, that counts as a 10. We've got a turn 4. Great. All right, well, let's get going with the next turn and see if the Brethren of the Coast can pull something out of the bag here to gain the upper hand. Unlikely, but you never know. Turn 4 ends in a way that I can only describe as surrounded. So the Brethren of the Coast lost the remaining number of marineros that they had. The young warriors over here eliminated them. This unit of warrior archers fought the remaining flibustier in melee and defeated him. And that just leaves the unit here, again, of freebooters with the commander. But again, it's another strike point test, so we're going to have to see how that goes. For what it's worth, the Brethren of the Coast have inflicted almost enough casualties to inflict a strike point on the natives, but it's just not enough. So again, this is a foregone conclusion, but we'll try and roll off anyway and see what happens. Oh, we did. We rolled another turn. Are we going to play it? I don't know. Sure, why not? Let's just see what happens. Sure, I don't know if that was a good idea to play out this turn 5, but I did anyway. And yeah, same thing basically. It's clearly a win for the Caribbean tribe here. They've managed to hold the objective over here and break the unit with so many strike points against them. So I think it was a little bit of a one-sided battle. I'm not quite sure. I'd be curious to know from people that are far more experienced with the rules and the mechanics where things might have gone wrong. The only thing I could possibly think is I feel like the natives were able to advance out of, or assault out of, or melee out of cover a lot more than the slightly more open areas here and here that the Brethren of the Coast were occupying. But either way, it was from the games I've played of this in the past, there was a heck of a lot more close combat than shooting. And really, I mean, goodness me, the Brethren of the Coast were not able to bring their firepower to bear really at all. I think only, the flibustiers got completely eliminated and without really firing a shot. So that wasn't such a great ability for that, or situation for them. But either way, it was still a fun game. It's also just reflecting on playing this. First of all, playing this solo is a little bit challenging. I really did, because of the card-based activation. You can see all the cards I've been dealing out over here. It's tricky. I basically took it each turn of looking at okay, what's the number one thing that each side wants to do, and how important is it for them to do it? Are they going to play a high card or a low card? And I think that worked. Again, I'm not sure if it really translates into this kind of video report that I do, though, where I'm basically giving turn summaries. But my goodness me, I couldn't imagine flipping cards, making plans, recording this, talking about it all at once. I think that would just be too labor intensive. And but it was still again a fun experience. I hope it was entertaining to watch. I think it's I'm very happy. It's one of the best looking games I think I've got or I've played in a long time. And for that, I'm thankful. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. I know there are, there's a thriving Blood and Plunder community out there, and I'm sure I got a number of rules wrong or nuances wrong. But hopefully it was still entertaining, and I'd love to make some more videos of this. I'm excited and inspired to make some more. I still have the starter set. The Kickstarter starter set is still in the wrap. I still need to get that apart and build that. I'd love to do that, and I'm curious to see what forces I'd build out of that if I did that. So yeah, lots to think about. But again, this was a fun game for me to play. I hope it was a fun game to watch, and more to come soon. Thanks for watching.